Hello everyone and welcome back to Arena Aftermath, your weekly recap show of SWC 2019. This week we're going to be recapping the America's Cup. My name is Evan and I'm once again joined at the table by Stoic and Make It a Bud. How are you guys doing?
Doing great. Excited to be here.
Awesome, I'm glad to hear it. Now let's dive straight in here and take a look at the results of the tournament that we just saw. That's the journey that we went on throughout the America's Cup. We saw Thompson work his way through the quarterfinals, making his way to Paris for the World Finals. And we saw Tree do something similar in the fourth round of the quarterfinals, taking him all the way to become the second finalist. What do you guys think?
Well, that last match was just fireworks. Outstanding performance between Tree and Thompson. Very, very exciting. But what an adventure seeing all these players, move forward. Seeing Tree go through Togepi, through Michael Gann to make it up there. Thompson going through Silent, going through Dreams Joker, making it to the finals as well. What an exciting tournament.
Yeah, I thought we had a lot of great matchups there. I mean, Tiger versus Dreams Joseph. Dreams Joseph really showed a lot of very strong drafts. Going 2-0 against Tiger, rematch from last year, and Dreams Joseph again did very well. But then Thompson getting through Silent, and then 3-1, commanding 3-1, by the way, on Dreams Joseph. Very solid play. And at the same time, Michael Yan actually showing some very good decision-making, good drafts, but of course, Tree is just Tree with so much experience, able to make it through, and of course, that finals. What a great finals. Thompson able to scrape by 3-1, did a very good job there.
That's true. Michael Yan did a great job against Tree. I'm glad you brought that up. Also, loved seeing the two rematches that we had at this tournament between Tiger and Dreams Joseph, as well as Thompson and Dreams Joseph. Really cool, and also really humble people at the end of the tournament. Thompson and Tree are just such great guys. Now let's take a quick look at SWC on a global scale. You're about to see the 8 people that are going to be featured at the EU Cup Saturday, September 7th. I think the last time we covered this, Group C had just finished. Now all of the group stages are over. We have the 8 competitors for September 7th. And here are the 8 players that are going to be featured at the Asia Pacific Cup on Saturday, September 28th.
And in this cup, you're going to notice in Group A, Beat D not moving forward. Osei. Group B, we've got Matsu not moving forward. Group C, you've got Groot and Judas not moving forward. Diligent being a strong player moving forward in Group C. And then in Group D, we see Llama actually moving forward in Group D. A lot of upsets during that Asia Pacific Cup.
That's right. Llama's one of the few recognizable names along with Diligent moving forward. So there's going to be a lot of stiff competition there for that Asia Pacific Cup. Again, happening on Saturday, September 28th. And you can stay tuned for the EU Cup happening on Saturday, September 7th. All right, guys. So which unit stood out the most to you that we can feature on this week's Monster Minute?
I think we can definitely agree. Leading into that final match with Thompson and Tree, Gianna was a standout unit in that match.
Yeah, I definitely think Gianna is very impressive as a unit, has the ability to drop a bomb on skill 2, and with skill 3, with the ability to be able to strip and stun if a unit has a buff. Very impressive in the draft, and Thompson used it as much as he could. It was oftentimes pre-banned whenever it could be pre-banned. At the same time, when it wasn't, Thompson always put in the draft. What it essentially does is it forces your opponent to draft around it, where if their units are on will, and most of them are, you're either banning that Gianna or you're going to face a full team strip. So highly effective in the draft, and then of course in the game, Thompson's being on Violent and then Dreams Joseph's runes being a lot slower than Thompson's allows Thompson to get a lot more turns, a lot more bombs, a lot more damage. Just overall, just a very, very strong unit.
And that's right. Now that unit's usually paired up with a speed lead, not its own leader skill. It's got an attack leader skill. I mean, it can bring a little bit of damage there with that bomb, but usually gets paired up with a speed lead. Now with that first skill, you're able to cycle if it crits, which is boosting up that attack bar, which allows you to potentially get more turns as well. Now that bomb does give you that additional turn, so it will lay that dot down. If you need it, the dot will be there as well, but you really want to lay that bomb down, get that additional turn where you could possibly third skill if the opportunity does arise for a third skill, or go right back into that first skill.
Awesome. Thank you so much, guys, for that analysis. Now, we find ourselves in a unique situation this week because we just wrapped up the SWC 2019 America's Cup. We actually have the luxury of having our interviews live. First off today, we've got Leisha here with us representing the guild Malicious, who is now the top guild in the world as decided in the Guild Arena Battle exhibition match. How you doing, Leisha?
I'm doing really well, thank you.
Awesome. Thank you for joining us at the desk today. So, I wanted to ask you a couple things. First of all, how does it feel to be a part of the top guild in the world?
It feels wonderful. They've been carrying me in Siege for the past like 6 months.
You guys had a great show in RTA too. That was actually a topic of discussion moving forward. I know that Make It a Bud actually brought it up, saying it's mostly a Siege guild, but transferring those runes had a pretty good effect, to be honest.
Yeah.
Not just that, but of course having violent runes that work very well had a great effect as well.
To Bud's point, that Diana was definitely effective. I think we saw it proc in isolation about 4 times, but also 2 times on the side there, right?
Exactly, 4 times though, in a row.
Mm-hmm.
My question here is, you know, a lot of times when you play RTA, you do feel a little guilty when you get procs, but obviously you're representing Malicious. When that 3rd and 4th proc came, was there any guilt that went through you knowing that you won the game instantly on that spot, or how'd you feel?
No, because if you saw Waika's matches when he was playing in SWC, he already had that happen, so it was just kind of like, you know, I learned that from him.
Got it. No guilt at all. Learned from Waika's and one-upped him with an extra proc, so very nice there.
So one thing I wanted to ask too actually was, how did you guys prepare for this? So like, did you strategically stagger it so that you'd have a better chance at going against certain people? Did you lay out the monsters ahead of time?
We prepared yesterday.
Now, was it a pretty intense session, or was it just like, hey, we got this going on tomorrow, let's not pick the same monsters?
I made a line group with Obey, Heaves, Bud, and Josh, and we were like, who are we playing first? We need to give B an answer.
So it was because of B's pestering that you had to deliver the answer.
Yes.
If given the opportunity to re-stagger those matchups, how would you have assembled it?
Well, the problem is that Obey doesn't actually do RTA. He was attempting to slow cleave, but it doesn't really work out against Archer because it doesn't work out versus like Daphnis or any strippers, so it doesn't really work.
I see.
But so I went first, and we were trying to get rid of like Trients and stuff for Obey, but I ended up taking like some units, and then Heaves ended up taking like Okeanos, so Obey couldn't use that. So both of us won, and then Obey could just do whatever he wanted.
And that's an aspect that we didn't really cover during the live broadcast. Part of that Guild Arena battle is when you get to those 2nd and 3rd matches, you're out of a lot of units right now. Like, your options are kind of slim, and Bud actually brought up how Obey kind of likes to make his own meta. He likes to play outside the box, so he hit that very well. I thought he was just kind of making some cool decisions and bringing in some interesting monsters, because by that point, Malicious was already decided as the top guild.
Well, he was trying to showcase Zerath because a lot of Mali has Zerath, and we would like it to get buffed.
Who were you afraid of the most going into GVG?
Do you know how worried I was about Archer? I messaged so many people. How do you deal with twins in RTA? What do I do? He has
And then
Gianna.
Comp just responded for
Yes.
you guys.
So I lucked out even before SWC started.
Yep. Might I add, being an SSA member here, I will say your match against Roman Fury made the 22% decide a lot of things in that match, but the match against Waika's, they played their match. Heaves 100% did the job away with Waika's. And if maybe Archer had gone first, we would have possibly seen something else. But because that big loss against to Waika's, I think that's what really settled it right there. So I think Waika's really needed to play his match. He did not, and he was taken out and done with properly.
Yes, I agree.
That's some good
Wow,
sportsmanship.
very good sportsmanship
Wow.
from Stoic. Was not
Stoic.
expecting that, but very nice.
But we see that kind of sportsmanship from everybody between SaySwag again and Malicious. You guys were so kind to each other out there. Everybody was so clearly happy for one another, you know, and we even saw you guys interacting up here afterwards. So thank you so much for joining us up here, Alicia. Congratulations again to you and your entire guild. I know that not
thank
all of
you.
your guildies could be here today, but it was great getting to see it.
Hey, thank you so much.
So we just heard from Leisha representing Malicious as the top guild decided by the Guild Arena Battle segment of SWC 2019 America's Cup. And now we get to have an interview with Tree, one of our 2 finalists from the America's Cup, going to Paris for the World Finals. Tree, how's it going?
I'm
good to
just
have you.
glad to be here. And today, actually, right after that, I'm gonna purchase some lottery. Today is my luckiest day in my life.
Stop it. You keep saying that. You made it here, man. You made it here. And you are one of the most skilled players out there, so I think you should own it and believe that you got here based on merit, man. Great showing today. Seriously.
Thank you.
Great showing. And I know that Stoic has a couple questions for you, so I'll let Stoic lead with this.
So I do. I know we're definitely going to discuss a lot on that Thompson Tree match there at the end, but I want to talk to you about Michael Yan.
Yeah.
Things got hairy with you up against Michael Yang. Was that kind of the draft style that you were definitely aiming for going up against, knowing he's a heavy bruiser, that you guys played this long marathon of matches? Is that a play style that you were ready to draft against him?
I mean, yes, it sometimes happens when I pick the dark desert skin Japanese. But actually, Michael Yan did a very good job. He knows how to counter the dark desert skin. Maybe that's the reason, but I didn't intend to be that game like that.
Okay, gotcha. Because there was some scary matches.
I mean, the one I can say the match where there's like Junos and things, and you really stacked your cooldowns with Ganymede, and the Tiana was a very tough one for you because you really had to line things up, and I think you were very meticulous about it. But I think at some point in the match you realized you needed to capitalize on a window because that was a tough one to win.
Yes.
That's right. Honestly, it was very, very impressive watching you play that match there because you were watching so much attack bars, you were keeping track of all of your skills, and you were trying to take advantage of when to apply those defense breaks to try and maximize your damage before you couldn't help but getting some of those negative effects onto Juno. Then Juno was going to heal up a team, and you were taking advantage of those moments where you had a heal block on 2 of his units, and you thought like, all right, now I can sacrifice that little bit of time where you may get more negative effects onto that Juno. It was honestly incredible to see you work through Michael Yan in those matches.
Thank you so much.
So Tree, let me ask you this. I got a question. Speaking of lottery and luck, what was your luckiest or best unit of the day?
Definitely Verdale. The first match against the Topa, wow, he's the savior. Wow, I was like, oh, I lost. Verdale, just revenge first, then keep proking, and I'm come back.
Yeah,
Wow.
that one definitely looked like you were in a really tough spot, and then you didn't get stunned, and then you procced over and over, and then proceeded to win there. So, but I thought you did a good job in the draft, though. But you know, fortunately for you, that Verd was able to keep you in the match. And I do have one more question.
Yes.
You know, obviously in this match here, the meta's a global meta, right? But now as you head into the Worlds, how are you going to prepare for that?
Actually, during the match, actually, I saw a lot of points I can improve. So first of all, I'm gonna do a lot of guild battle against you and Fame Memory or the Global Guildies, and I actually try to use a more like the cleave team, not like the whole cleave team, like the one target cleave team. I gotta practice about that. That's pretty effective, so that's the point I need to improve.
I agree. Oftentimes, a lot of times, isolating and taking one unit off the field is so powerful.
Exactly.
Puts you in a big advantage. So, good note. We'll work on that.
Wow. Being able to take mental notes of what you need to improve upon while playing a game at SWC is pretty impressive, to be honest. That while doing the juggling matches, you know? Like, doing those targeting, that's pretty impressive, man.
Got lucky.
No, stop. Enough with that. Enough with that.
Tree's a
You're here
very
now.
impressive player.
And no matter what, you're going to Paris. You're going to the World Finals. This is not the last time we're going to see you, no matter what. So I'm happy about that.
Yeah.
Awesome. Well, Tree, thank you so much for joining us up here with this interview. It's been a pleasure talking with you, and I'm glad that we get to see you again at the World Finals.
See you at the World Final.
See you then.
Paris.
And now we get to hear from our champion of SWC 2019 America's Cup. It's Thompson. How are you, man?
I'm good.
Good. I'm glad to hear it. And first of all, congratulations on the win.
Thank you.
It was awesome getting to watch those games for you. Now, can you tell me, what was the most difficult match of the day?
Against Silent, absolutely.
Silent for
most
sure?
difficult.
Cool. Well, you've had a lot of awesome moments from the preliminaries, the group stages that have all led here. What are some notable moments from those prelims and group stages?
Definitely Truffle Salad and Invictus. They're great drafters and smart players, and they have great runes to back it up.
Nice. So what gave you the most difficulty in fighting their team comps?
Their brain.
Their brain? That's a good
They're
answer.
smart. They're just good drafters.
Once you get up to this point, that's really what you're fighting against. You're in that mental match between the other person.
Their mental stamina, absolutely.
Yeah. Well, we've looked back, but now looking forward to the World Finals because that's where you're going next. What are you going to do to prepare?
It's really hard to prepare because I already got my account to the best state it's at getting into this competition. So right now, I'm just going to relax. Yeah.
That's good. Good for you. Take a moment to relax. Don't let yourself fall out of it, though. Stay sharp, man, because you know you're one of the most analytical players out there. It's always fun watching you play the game. Do you guys have any questions for Thompson?
Sure. Coming into this one, how did you prepare? Was there anything special you did? Was there anything you adjusted from the group stages? You know, what kind of got you into the zone for this?
Putting all my monsters as fast as possible, you know? Yeah.
Oftentimes being able to dictate how the match goes and having more runes helps a lot for sure.
Yes.
My favorite matches to watch, it's got to be that final match between you and Tree. But boy, was it hard for me to watch you and Silent go at it. That was a difficult match for me to watch. It was awesome to see you finally get your revenge with Dreams Joseph. How did that feel?
It was different. When I played Silent, I was very lackadaisical, and like when I played against Joseph, I was focused, hyper focused, and I was just concentrated. Yeah.
You missed a lot of bombs facing Dreams
Yeah.
Joseph, and we could see the reaction on your face for each bomb being missed.
It happens.
It does happen.
And I have a question. You referenced the picture a lot of times, and you kissed the picture, and you showed it to the camera. Can you kind of explain the story behind that, or a little bit about that?
I'm very superstitious. Last year, I had a red arm sleeve. That didn't work out. I lost, so red arm
threw it
sleeve
away.
gone. Yeah.
Wasn't red
This
enough.
time I had a charm. Is a picture of my mom, my aunt, and my wife, and that worked.
Awesome.
I felt like they were next to me the whole time. It was awesome.
Can you show it to it?
Of
Can you show it
course.
to us? That'd be really cool.
The first match against Silent, I had my friends, parents, and the second match and the third one was just my wife, my mom, and my aunt. 3 most important people in my life.
That's so sweet, dude. Remembering who got you here, what that support
Yeah.
brought you, you know? Well, guys, anything else you want to say to Thompson, our champion from the SWC 2019 America's Cup?
I just want to say congratulations and well done. Very well played today.
My pleasure. Thank you.
Want to say I'm really proud to be part of SSA today. You know, maybe we didn't take it home in GVG, but it's awesome to see one of our fellow members move forward.
Got to represent.
Definitely.
Congratulations. I'm glad that we get to see you at the World Finals. Thank you so much for joining us for an interview.
Thank you. My pleasure.
And thank you so much for joining us for another episode of Arena Aftermath. Remember to check back in on September 7th for the EU Cup, and we'll see you all next time. Bye-bye. Hey everybody, you made it to the end of the video. Thank you so much for watching. If you enjoy content like this, maybe consider subscribing to the channel and also scoping out another video from it. We'll be updating a lot, and if you want to stay up to date with all the latest Summoners War content, make sure to follow us on social media, which we have linked in the description. Thank you all so much for watching, and we'll see you next time.